we decided to start a YouTube channel. So we just never really uploaded the first video, and we're always so busy. So I figured that this morning, while everybody's kind of still in bed on a Sunday morning, is a good day to do it. A lot of videos on YouTube have service truck walkthroughs as far as tools and what the trucks are, so on and so forth. So I figured that we would do our service truck. So we do heavy equipment, truck repair. We also do automotive and tires. So the tires are kind of a byproduct of the mechanicking as we're getting started here. There's really not, as much work as we'd like to in the mechanicking, so we figured that we do tires to fill in, and I'd done them before. So this truck is filthy. It's a 2004 F350 6-speed V10. Pretty basic inside, just manual door locks and windows. So here is the bed. So this is a short bed, and I kind of want to switch to a long bed to where I had another cabinet here, but I haven't done it yet. And this is kind of a poor man's service truck. We tried to set this up on a budget and make it pay for itself. So we've got hand cleaner and stuff, little pickup tools, voltmeter, ODB2. These are M12 tools, which I've used before in our construction business and I like. So there's an angle drill, a light, the 1/4 inch cordless ratchet. So I'm just kind of trying this out, see how much I like it before I switch to 3/8. Big truck, tire gauge, blow guns, knives, little core tools. So a lot of our impacts and stuff that are on here that we didn't either already have or that we couldn't take out of our shop to put on the truck, we bought from Harbor Freight. We figured that we would try it out, make sure the truck was going to make money, and then let it pay for itself. And they're still working. I think we're a couple months into really messing with this truck and actually rolling it. We haven't even put decals on it yet. So this thing right here actually works really, really well. It's an Earthquake XT. I don't put oil in it like I should, but it is what it is. So we keep a few screwdrivers over here, picks, tire markers, magnets, etc. So then this is just a random ratchet drawer. Some of the stuff that's on here is Matco. It's like my favorite ratchet ever. It's Snap-on ratchet with kind of a bent handle. I love it to death. These are standard metric wrenches. It's kind of our junk plier drawer. And then this is something that I bought for the service truck that I really, really liked. One of our apprentices had the idea of doing this, and it worked out really, really well. So this thing's these drawers. A lot of times that we're out working, we just pull out this whole drawer with all the sockets and stuff in there if they're not missing, and set them wherever we're working at. Box of shop rags, of course, gloves. Those are thicker gloves whenever we're doing bearings and stuff for the grease. Normally I have thicker and thinner, but I'm out of the thinner ones. Fire extinguisher that, of course, isn't all that accessible. And then we keep our bolt trays stuck on the side. So one thing that I did do, and it looks ghetto as hell in here, is whenever I turn on my strobe up top, I have lights that are strung throughout the boxes in the back. They're hard to see on this particular box, but they light the boxes up at night if we're doing night work. So this is kind of most every service truck's got a little storage area. It's just a cheap electrical kit that we kind of replaced everything in. I buy this crap a lot from like Northern Tool, just miscellaneous hose clamps, pins, bolts. This box is full of just all extra air fittings. It's happened on a few occasions, especially as we were getting the truck going, that we broke a fitting or something, or a reducer that we had on a hose, and we needed that. So we got in there. Extra socket set, that's just a cheap ass socket set. This is an old O-ring kit. It's got about 800 million different O-rings in it. It's just a cheap ass one from AutoZone, but it works great. Zip ties, there's a backup voltage tester in there. These things are really, really good. They don't last very long. This is just an AutoZone special for a work light, where you can just, you know, you can run it on high or run it on low. There's some AC stuff back up in here. This thing right here is probably used more than anything else, and it's just a cheap ass Harbor Freight pump. But man, we use it like hell all the time. This truck still has a lot of room on it. I really haven't finished filling it up. This is a cheap ass torque set. We use a lot of DeWalt cordless tools on this particular truck. There's a Husky smaller torque wrench and a bigger torque wrench back there. Like I said, we just kind of set this deal up on a budget, just trying to make the truck make the money to pay for itself, and it's definitely done that. This is a big 1/2-inch socket set. It's just all different kinds of sockets and stuff. So I set up my truck for tires a little bit different. This is our 1/2-inch hose. It's a 50-foot reel. It's just a cheap ass Northern tool reel, and I liked the idea of doing that better than and having a 3/8 in the back better than what I did running just one hose reel. So these are two 50-foot reels. Generally, we can make our way within that distance of anything. Drain pan, we use this a lot in reprimes for trucks running out of diesel all the time. So we'll just put the diesel in this can and use the spout to pour it into the fuel filters and stuff. I've got a couple of customers I do preventive maintenance and stuff on their tractors and stuff, so I always keep 5 gallons of oil in here. 3 different sizes of airline loops on trucks. So back here in the back, you can't really see it because that trailer is in the way. I bought a compressor. A tool supplier owed me a credit, and I was able to buy this compressor and get it for free off the credit, basically. And it worked out pretty well. It's like one of those knockoff like Honda GSX engines. So there's a Yeti cooler. We keep water and shit in, of course. Gatorade. Semi-tire. This thing right here might be the worst investment that I've made in this truck. This is a Golden tool. I don't know whether I just really haven't taken the time to figure it out yet or not, but I hate it. It's heavy as shit. Generally, I do all the tires in my bars. This is our Murphy's tire soap. I ran over the bucket with a spare tire and broke it. 1-inch impact. This is a Pittsburgh truck tire socket set. It's got a bunch of different sockets in it. We use a lot of sockets that are in here to like change carrier bearings on trucks and stuff that you know, may not have a socket big enough or have enough torque on a 3/4 1/2-inch impact. So we use this big boy. This one's actually set up, the guy that taught me to do tires, this is set up with Milton's couplers. You know, you use a lot of the other couplers and stuff, and there's a lot of videos on YouTube. I don't know whether, I mean, I'm sure that if this hole in the end is smaller, that it does restrict flow, but those Miltons are what they ran, and yeah. This impact, I'm really, really bad about putting oil in it, so I threw a bottle of oil over here. I've got some other miscellaneous sockets off my dad's old service truck whenever he quit doing service, and they're just sitting in there. I have a 20-ton air jack, but I generally use a 12 because it's a lot lighter and a lot easier to carry. I want to set up a little box back here on this big ass bumper, and fuck, my mind ain't working this morning. I want to set up a vise over there on a little stand that sticks up, and then I want to put a little box right here with a lock on it to be able to put a 20-ton air jack that's on like a trolley, but I don't want to have to pick it in and out of the bed of the truck every time, because even just getting the tires in there sometimes sucks. So what I do with these air jacks that's a little bit different is Harbor Freight sells these lead-off hoses for like they're for a hose reel or whatever. So we actually broke this hose within the first few weeks of having this air jack, so I was going to do it anyways, and I ended up doing it. So it's got a longer hose, so you can put the air jack up underneath the truck, stand out from underneath the truck and clamp the nozzle to where it'll jack the truck up. Way safer, way better. This is a cheap ass gauge that we made to air up semi tires. It's got a locking head on it, and it's got the little air gauge built into it to where you can stand back from the tires and not have to worry about them exploding. I run soapy water in a spray bottle there for checking for leaks. Works out pretty well. On to the next bin. We have a tire spreader in here for patching. That is an extra nozzle for my bead seeder. I've never used it, but maybe one day. This is a Kintool hammer, which I've used ever since I started doing tires. I have Kintool tools, but I'm trying to think outside the box and try some other things. So I actually have an OTC hammer on the way that has a clip right here to where you can hook it inside the rim to flip the rims over. So yeah, I'm gonna try that out. This is the other piece, that Golden Tool set. You can get some pretty good torque on it because it's longer than the normal bars from Kintool, but I don't really use it much either. I do use this bead holder all the time to hold the beads while you're putting the tires back on the rims. A set of standard Kintool dismount remount bars there. I haven't gotten another freaking little tackle box deal to put these in, but there's a bunch of quick snag fuel filter deals. There's a compression tester that we never really use, but I got it on the truck anyways, just in case. This big bad boy I do use all the time. It is a hydraulic puller. It's huge. Even the bolt's got a little place in there, Harbor Freight crap. We keep long extensions in the back for like transmissions or hard to reach places. We kind of keep them in the back of this drawer. We do work a lot on trailers, so here's a bearing and race seal driver set. Which once again, I'm sure there'll be a million people have comments say about the cheap tools on this truck, but yeah, it works. Check that up later. So this is a drive wheel axle socket set. I've ran these even whenever I had service trucks before and stuff. I ran like the Pittsburgh, big socket sets, and it worked out really, really nice. If you go online, a lot of your wheel lock key sets are really, really expensive, or even in the store. I bought this one from Harbor Freight. We haven't really gotten stuck out with it yet. It shows all the stuff in there. I think it was like $100 set or something, but it's worked out really, really well for what it is. And yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a lot cheaper than what you would have paid anywhere else. Generally, we keep, for like small trailers, some caps, some grease seals. Generally, there's races and bearings on the truck. I bought a lot of these whenever we had our construction business, and there's a lot of them that are just pretty much dead ass empty. But there's those little Milwaukee sets. They survive really, really well on the service truck. So this is probably the most confusing box. This is just kind of a catch-all. These should really be over here. Those are just some bearing parts and disc caps and stuff for little trailers. I carry a couple of ball pins, and a dead blow hammer, and then a little sledgehammer. More bearing parts that should be over here. It's just an extra set of little bits for my die grinder, cut off the edge from a cutting tool. So once again, set up on a budget. Some stuff we had in our shop, some stuff we didn't, some stuff we really didn't want to take out of our shop, so we bought some of it. So there's a little CH cutoff deal from Tractor Supply. This thing gets used like a son of a gun. It's a Craftsman air tool hammer. A little 1/4-inch snap-on impact wrench I rarely ever use. Here's a 1/2-inch impact wrench. A little Husky 3/8. God only knows what name, Butterfly 3/8. This little bastard gets used a lot. Little Husky die grinder. These should be on the other side, but they're not. So, I'll put all that back later. So these are just extra miscellaneous sockets. There's some sets in there, some swivel sets, some Allen key sets, yeah. And then this right here is just kind of a catch-all. There's a bunch of filter wrenches in there and stuff. Hose cut-off tools for like cutting off a radiator hose or whatever. They work really, really well for what you use them for. Tin snips in there. Generally everything, I used to be in the sheet metal business, everything that I have has tin snips in it for some motherfucking reason. These things are real cool. I need a new blade, but the handy cuts, just to cut hoses and stuff. It's kind of the uncommon used wrenches. It's just a stubby step, metric and standard. And I've got a bunch of flare nut wrenches in there and a bunch of big wrenches. Jumper cables. That's actually a Husky box that we keep like all of our patch stuff in, glue, valve stem cores, all that kind of stuff. There's our bead seeder, also sometimes used for a potato gun, which it does very, very well at. Here's the other side of the truck. So whenever we set up this truck goes out a lot at night. So we went on eBay and we bought these strobe kits, which there's one on each side. And then there's one up there and one up there, and then the light bar. The light bar's got a switch inside. Excuse me. That cuts it on, but I couldn't ever really figure out what to do with the strobe controller. So it's right back up in there on the driver's side. Is you have to cut the light bar on to cut the strobes on, and to get power, which the wiring's not, I mean, it's safe, but it's not all that great because I'm not an electrician. This is a work light that swivels and stuff, and then here's another work light. So generally whenever we go out on service calls, especially tires at night, I have a tendency to take the tire off the truck over there and roll it around back here, and I lean it on the bumper of the truck and work on it here, so it's convenient with the hose reel there and all that kind of stuff, to be able to just kind of work on it right here. And this light right here is kind of used for that function. A lot of what we use for lighting at night is, and I kind of stole this idea from some other mechanics, is these little headlamps. We run them a lot. Real quick, easy, throw it on your head, it shines wherever you're at. This one's got a couple different settings. Of course, I never use a strobe unless I want to piss off the local truck drivers. I put a CB in this truck. There's a little manual charger deal. I have not upgraded the radio yet, so there's a little Bluetooth FM deal in there. Of course, air fresheners, because yeah, we stink. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but it's our service truck. I'm gonna continue to work on it, and we do every week or so, do some improvements to it. But it's starting to rain, so I guess that'll end this video. And I'll try and get some, where we're finishing up some of our construction business stuff, including the biggest building in Austin, Texas, or the tallest building. So I'll shoot some videos of that kind of stuff. I'm not really sure who's going to watch this YouTube channel, just family and friends, or if it'll be kind of just general variety channel. A lot of what I'll do will be about turning wrenches, because it's kind of what my life is comprised of, that and my kids. So we'll catch y'all on the next one.